Okay, so welcome back, everyone,
Yeah.
to another deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
And this time we're really
Diving deep.
diving deep.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at President Trump's first week back in office.
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up. It's been a whirlwind.
It has been a whirlwind.
And we're going to be kind of going through this massive list of executive orders that he's already signed.
It's a lot to cover.
It really is 8 key areas.
8?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're pulling from all sorts of sources here. We've got CNN, the Australian,
Okay.
U.S. Sun, the New York Post, even dipped into Wikipedia and Business Insider.
Gotta love Wikipedia.
I know we had to.
Yeah, gotta do it sometimes.
But our goal today is to try and figure out not just like what these executive orders say, because you can read that anywhere,
Yes.
but what they might actually mean
Right.
for, you, the listener.
The implication.
Yeah, for America, for the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, because there's a difference between sort of the letter of the law and then how these things actually play out in practice.
Totally. And with 8 different areas, it's going to play out in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, in some unexpected ways, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So, looking at these 8 areas, right?
Yeah.
It's giving you some serious deja vu.
I was going to say, it feels like we're seeing a familiar playbook here.
It does, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking America first?
America first, yeah, front and center.
Right. But this time it's like America first on steroids or something.
Yeah, it does seem even more intense this time around.
Yeah.
Just the sheer number of these orders and the speed with which they were rolled out.
Right out the gate.
Yeah, no kidding. It's, I guess for those who maybe need a refresher, the America First agenda essentially means that American interests are prioritized, sometimes, even at the expense of global cooperation or pre-existing agreements. And I think what we're seeing with these executive orders is a very aggressive application of that philosophy across the board. It's affecting everything from climate change policy to trade deals to immigration.
It's everywhere you look.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
So let's talk about something that I think really exemplifies this.
Okay.
The pardons for those involved in the January 6th events.
Yes.
Okay, so 1,500 pardons.
Wow.
That's not just a number. That's a statement.
It's a big statement.
What do you think is the message here, legally and politically?
Well, legally, the president does have the power to pardon. That's within his purview.
Right.
But I think the sheer scale of this and the timing, it's provocative, to say the least.
Yeah.
It raises concerns about accountability for actions that a lot of people saw as a very direct threat to American democracy. And politically, I think it just pours gasoline on the fire of an already deeply divided nation.
It's not exactly a unifying gesture.
No, not really.
So, okay, let's move on to something that feels a little less serious,
Okay.
but could have massive implications.
All right. I'm intrigued.
The creation of DOGE,
Kodoji.
the Department of Government Efficiency.
Okay.
And get this, Elon Musk is at the helm.
Oh, wow.
Is this real life
That's a curveball.
or like a mean come true?
It's certainly a headline grabber, isn't it?
Right.
The idea itself is streamlining government, making it more efficient. That's not inherently a bad thing,
Oh,
right?
no.
But bringing in Elon Musk,
What a thing.
he's a brilliant innovator.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. But he also really courts controversy.
He does.
And he often operates outside of conventional norms.
It's like putting a rocket engine
Okay.
on a horse-drawn carriage.
All right.
You might get somewhere faster,
You might.
but it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, it's going to be a bumpy ride, for sure.
What are the potential pitfalls here, do you think?
Well, there's the potential for conflicts of interest with all of his other ventures. Oh, right.
There are concerns about his management style, which has been described as
Yeah.
unconventional, shall we say.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
And then there's the question of whether his, focus on technology and disruption is actually the right approach to improving government services, which often rely on, more traditional methods.
Yeah, government bureaucracy is not exactly known for its agility and speed.
It's not Silicon Valley.
No, it's not.
So, okay, let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
And talk about the cultural landscape, because there's a lot happening there too.
Yeah, a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, so we've got executive orders that are targeting DEI initiatives. So that's diversity, equity, and inclusion for anyone who's not familiar with the acronym.
Right.
And defining gender strictly as male or female.
Okay.
Now, these feel like pretty direct hits on progress that's been made in recent years.
They do seem to be pushing back against a lot of the social and cultural shifts that we've seen.
Right.
What kind of ripple effects do you think we're likely to see from these?
Well, I mean, these are moves that could have really significant legal and social ramifications.
Okay.
Legally, I think you're likely to see a lot of challenges based on discrimination and equal protection under the law, particularly from LGBTQ plus advocacy groups.
Right.
And socially, it risks further marginalizing already vulnerable groups.
Yeah.
And exacerbating the tensions that already exist around gender identity.
Right.
I mean, imagine the impact this could have on workplaces,
Right.
schools, healthcare.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a potential minefield.
It is, and it's not like those areas weren't already complicated enough.
Exactly.
Okay, so then there's the return of a familiar tune on the foreign policy front.
Oh, boy.
Tariffs.
Here we go again.
This time, Canada and Mexico are in the crosshairs.
Oh, wow.
I mean, haven't we been down this road before?
We have, and it didn't end well.
Not really.
This is classic protectionism. Trying to shield American industries from foreign competition by taxing imports. But the problem is that what often happens is that other countries retaliate with tariffs of their own.
Right.
And then you end up in a trade war.
Yeah.
That ultimately hurts everyone involved.
Nobody wins.
Nobody wins.
Remember the soybean farmers?
Oh,
during the last round of tariffs? I mean,
they were hit hard.
They were devastated.
Yeah, and those costs, they ultimately trickled down to consumers.
Yeah.
Like you and me.
Right, in the form of higher prices.
Exactly. So it's not exactly a win-win situation.
It's lose-lose.
Pretty much.
Okay, this next one, I think, has the potential to be a real powder keg.
All right, lay it on me.
The removal of sanctions on Israeli settlements in the West Bank.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah. So what are the geopolitical implications here?
Well, this is a move that could significantly escalate tensions in the region.
Okay.
It really throws a wrench into the already fragile peace process between Israel and Palestine, making a two-state solution even more difficult to achieve.
Right.
And it also risks alienating U.S. allies in the region and strengthening the hand of those who oppose peace efforts.
So kind of like a lose-lose all around.
Yeah, I mean, you could think of it as like a geopolitical earthquake with aftershocks that could be felt for years to come.
So wrapping it all up, I mean, it feels like President Trump has spent his first week back.
Yeah.
Setting up a series of dominoes.
He has been busy.
Both domestically and internationally.
Yeah, he hit the ground running.
Which one do you think falls first? What has the most immediate impact?
It's hard to say for sure, but I think the legal challenges to the executive orders on social issues, those are probably going to come pretty swiftly and fiercely.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And the response from Canada and Mexico on the tariffs, that's something to watch closely as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a volatile situation all around.
Yeah.
With potential for rapid escalation.
And that's what makes it so important to stay informed and engaged. These executive orders, they're not just words on paper. They have real-world consequences for all of us.
For all of us, yeah. It's going to touch everybody's lives in one way or another.
So keep your eyes peeled and your ears open. This story is just getting started.
It's definitely not over.
And who knows, maybe we'll need another deep dive in a few weeks just to make sense of it all.
Sounds good to me. I'll be here.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time.
See ya.
Stay curious.